the live event now and you can begin.
Okay, thank you very much, Emma. Good morning and welcome everyone to Civil Engineering Open Day. We are so glad to have you joining us. My name is Lita Noluchungu. I'm a lecturer in the Civil Engineering Department. And once again, welcome Sanibonani, Hoyemora Almal. And I'm just going to explain to you how things are going to work. At the moment, you are unable to speak to us. The only way that you can, it's not via the microphone. There's a live question and answer chat. At any point during the course of the next 30 minutes or so, if you have questions for us, please write them on that Q&A chat and we'll gladly answer them for you. So we're going to kick off by having a formal information session, which is going to explain to you everything briefly about civil engineering. We'll then follow with a virtual tour of our building and our lab spaces. And then we will have a panel of academics that you can actually ask questions and they will be answering the questions that you've posted. And finally, we'll close off with you meeting a few of our students. Okay, so right now I'm going to hand over to Professor Marianne van der Scheren to just chat to you and give you a brief overview of what civil engineering is all about. Thank you, Marianne. Over to you.
Thank you very much. So good morning, everybody. It really is my privilege to introduce the Civil Engineering Department at UCT to you. My name is Marianne van der Scheren, and I have been with UCT for 20 years. What do we as civil engineers do? We plan, design, construct, and maintain our built environment, and I will explain to you what that means. We have several disciplines that we will teach you if you decide to come to our civil engineering department. These include structural engineering, construction materials, geotechnical engineering, hydraulics engineering, water management, as well as transport engineering. Starting with structural engineering, it's all the structures that you see from the stadium we built for 2010, the Soccer World Cup, to bridges, skyscrapers, etc. And inside information tells me that bridges is really first prize for structural engineers. That's what they love to do. Construction materials is everything we build with, and that is also making sure that the building materials that we use are sustainable, long-lasting, and we do research on what new materials are available all the time. Geotechnical engineering makes sure that we understand the earth layers that we are building upon and that the foundations for our structures are sound. Hydraulics engineering deals with collection, storage, control, and regulation of water flows. They will identify where dams have to be and how they're supposed to be constructed and maintained. Once we have collected the water and stored the water, we need to make sure that it's treated to make sure that the water that comes into your homes is clean and good for consumption. So our colleagues in water management do that. They also look at alternatives because at this moment in time in this country, we're using drinkable water to water our garden, and that is not sustainable. So they will investigate how we can change that and improve. Transport engineers plan, design, and build transport systems for people and goods. You all experience this on a daily basis. And while we're planning this and building this, we try to mitigate negative impacts such as pollution, global warming, and road fatalities. When we're doing the planning, we are working in a complex situation where everything changes all the time. One of the prime examples of that is growing populations, and African cities at the moment are growing at a rate that we have never seen ever in the world before. And we try to accommodate all those people and their needs while managing our resources, our dwindling resources. We need to do more with less. In our department at UCT, we try to imagine our future society by identifying sustainable living, using sustainable materials, and making sure that negative impacts are reduced or eliminated. That said, if you join us, you will joining a world-class program, and more information can be found on the civil engineering website. And if you want to know what we're doing day to day, then please join us on one of our social media platforms. Thank you, Lita. Back to you.
Okay, Marianne, if you could just explain that last slide, because I think we lost connection. I certainly lost connection from my side. Thank you very much.
Okay, what I did say is that we are ranked as a world-class university, including our civil engineering program at UCT. We have more information about civil engineering on our website. We're active on social media, and if people want to know more about what we do on a day-to-day basis, I recommend that they join us on social media. Is that clear?
Great. That is 100% clear. Thank you so much, Marianne. Really appreciate it. And I think that was a very good overall view of the different disciplines within civil engineering. I see we have quite a number of attendees, close to 100 people in attendance. I just want to remind you that you can ask questions in the live Q&A. Please feel free to pop in a question, type it in, and at some point we will be answering those questions at a later stage during this session. But for now, in trying to make this as close as possible to the actual open day that we used to have pre-COVID, where you'd come into our buildings and you get to see our facilities, we've put together a little tour that will take you into the different spaces within the civil engineering department. And right now, I would just like to share that video with you. If you'll just give me a second. Thank you all very much. We hope that you've enjoyed that video. Okay, and I think we've managed to gather up some questions that are lined up. And we have a couple of questions on the panel. We have Professor Neil Armitage, Marianne van der Schueren. Prof. Marianne van der Schueren is still on. We have Nuran Hartley, as well as myself, who are available for those questions. I'm just going to read out the questions as I see them. I think the first one, Nuran Hartley might be in a position to answer. And the question, Nuran, is whether the 2021 June marks can be used to apply if some of the grade 11 marks were not good enough to get in. I don't know if you'll be in a position to answer that question. In other words, the person wants to know if their grade marks, 11 marks, were not sufficient for conditional acceptance for civil engineering, can they use their June 2021 marks?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the chat. We do generally offer conditional offers on the grade 11 marks, but we also assess and review your marks as it comes or as you receive it. Depending on the June marks, you could possibly receive a conditional offer.
Okay, is there Neil or Marianne, perhaps you want to add to that, or?
Yeah, maybe I can add to that. Look, I think we need to distinguish here between conditional offers, which Nuran has just told you about, and final offers. The final offers historically, and I'm sure it'll be the same this coming year, are always going to be based on your final examination results, which will generally be the NSCs. So yes, of course, having good grade 11 marks or good grade 12 marks is helpful in the sense that you can get a conditional offer. It doesn't exclude you if your marks happen to be quite poor. You can still get considered if right at the end you pull out all the stops and do well. I can run down some of the others if you like. Or maybe, Nuran, maybe you know the latest marks for application. I've got an idea, but I don't know the latest.
Right, so for civil engineering, the maths requirement is 80% and physical science is 70%.
And this, overall, you've got to get a count, which will allow you to be considered. And as I said, I don't know what that is at the moment. It's but you will find them all on the UCT application site. If you go to the UCT main site and look at applications, you'll be able to download all the criteria for a successful recruitment to civil engineering. So it is all published, it's all available. You just need to look for it on the main site. Maybe some of the other ones. Does civil engineering have anything to do with architecture? Well, yep. Yes and no. No in the sense that they're completely different fields, but yes in the sense that architects and engineers, civil engineers, work together all of the time. But they are different and they require quite different skills. Architects are usually far more artistic and they do a lot less of sort of maths and physics and like that. But of course, the building needs both.
Okay.
Do you want me to run on with some of the others?
Yeah, if you can. I think we've probably got about another minute or so for this particular Q&A, but in the background, David is handling some of those questions and we'll be publishing them. So if you could just answer perhaps the next question, and then there's a short little video clip to end off the session.
Structural engineers are anything to do with large structures, any large building or everything. I mean, basically anything larger than a house would be handled by a structural engineer. So it could be a high-rise building, it could be a hub, it could be a bridge, it could be whatever. So it's huge, it's quite extensive.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Neil. And
Lisa,
yes.
With regards to property studies, it's the same as architects. We work together, but we're not the same.
Okay, great. I think, okay, right now we're almost reaching the end of our session, and whilst David is answering questions in the background, there's just a short little video clip where I think you will all benefit from hearing from other students that will tell you why they did engineering, civil engineering. Enjoy.
I am Victor Silvery from an East African country called Tanzania. I'm doing my second year of Masters in Geotechnical Engineering at the Department of Civil Engineering here at UCT.
Hello, my name is Shiv Damara Singh and I come from Mauritius. I am currently doing my Masters at the University of Cape Town in Transport Engineering.
Hello, my name is Nzalo Mabunda and I am a 21-year-old student from Limpopo, South Africa.
Hi there, my name's Caitlin and I'm a PhD student in the Civil Engineering Department, and I'm researching how to make a liquid fertilizer from human urine using reverse osmosis.
Hi, I'm Matlazi Fortunzana from Gauteng, Pretoria, and I'm a first year undergrad student in Civil Engineering.
My choice of civil engineering was to more the need to help people without looking at their social class. It's probably the only field that touches many lives of people without noticing. Talk about the transport infrastructures, helping people move from point A to B.
Civil engineering is really important because it's everything you see around you. It's the roads you drive on, the bridges you go over, and the water that comes out of your tap. All of these things fall under civil engineering as things we rely on every day. So it was really important for me to take part in that community.
In regards to the different universities across the world, UCT is one kind in terms of giving a high quality education with affordable price.
I chose UCT because I wanted to become part of a community of diverse broad leaders. I also wanted to be part of a series of game changers like myself, be with like-minded people who can contribute to the development of the African continent.
I enjoy coming to the contact lecture sessions. This is one of the most things I enjoy, and also working in the labs, doing practicals. That's one of the most interesting things ever.
It's the best university in Africa, having a very well-equipped library and laboratories, top-class lecture venues, but most of all, prominent and well-rounded lecturers who will help you throughout your journey to getting your qualification.
So I was at the diversity. I got to meet a lot of different people coming from different countries, not just in Africa, but all around the world.
That civil engineering is actually really fun. I enjoy it so much. Even with its challenges, it feels so wholesome.
We definitely have the best building. NEB's got a super cool foyer where students hang out, and we definitely have the best lecture theatre with the most super comfy seats.
I would say go for it. Go for it and don't think back. It always gets better.
Engineering is definitely not the easiest degree, but at the end of it, you're going to go into a career that is super fulfilling, and you're literally going to make a difference in people's lives every day, whether it be the road they drive on or the water they drink.
If you chose civil engineering, that is the best decision ever. But choosing UCT is one of the things that makes it even more better.
That brings us to the end of our session. David is continuing to answer questions, and we hope you really enjoyed your time with us. I think that brings us to the end of our session. Enjoy. We hope to hear from you. Please apply any contact sessions. David will bring up a slide now that will be able to tell you if you're looking for any more information, if you have want to contact the admissions office or faculty office. Those are the email addresses, as well as visiting our website, the civil engineering website. Okay, those are the contact details. Thank you all very much. I think we'll leave this slide on until such time that the session actually ends. Thank you.